Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, pretty.
Hey guys, welcome back to Quoted by Tiff, where we keep it real and we heal, right? And well, first off, let me explain my hiatus. I have one of my children is graduating high school, and y'all know how senior year is. So much stuff going on. So yeah, I had to prioritize. And then I'm working on my doctoral degree, so that took up a bunch of my time. And I finally got the time to say, you know what, hey, I need to go back to what I love doing, which is talking to you guys and helping people work through things in their life because I've been through a lot and I know I have a lot to teach others, right? So, today I'm going to be talking about respect, how to demand your respect, and how to recognize when others are disrespecting you. Because I think sometimes, well, at least I know me, I used to kind of side eye people. I never thought that people were disrespecting me until later on down the line when I thought about it again. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in relationships and being related to people that we don't think like, hey, they're not being shady. But yes, they are in fact being shady. Sometimes it's the people closest to you that disrespect you the most. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to share some personal stories of mine and how I overcame and how I demand my respect now. So I hope you guys are ready. And yeah, let's get it popping. Okay, respect. What is it, right? You know, I'm going to say this. Sometimes when people are not called out about their behavior, it can be disrespectful, but they can not be aware that it's disrespectful until you call them out. I used to have that problem, I would say up until about 6 years ago. I used to let people say anything to me. And it wasn't because I was scared to say something. It was just because I'm generally a peaceful person. I like to keep the peace. I don't like a lot of ruckus, a lot of chaos. But by me not speaking up when people made me feel uncomfortable or people were disrespecting me, that gave them the cue to continue to do it. And it was a cycle all my life up until about 6 years ago. And 6 years ago, I went off. I'm talking about I went off on everybody. It was like a light switch came on in me. And I just started just blurting out things to people. And it seemed like it was like things that I should have said a long time ago that I was just now saying like 6 years ago. And people were appalled. I bet people thought I was crazy, but I wasn't crazy. Sometimes when you hold, I'm a person that used to hold things inside all the time. And when I used to hold them inside, it could be just a random day and I'll blurt it out and go off on somebody and they'll look at me like I'm crazy. That's why that wasn't healthy, by the way. I would not recommend anybody do that. If you hold things inside, don't. Just say what you have to say to people. Because it can mess up relationships. It can mess up friendships when you don't say what's on your mind, even if it'll hurt a person's feelings. If a person has disrespected you, it's best to just handle that right then and there. That's the person I am today. You can't be shady towards me. I'm going to say something at that same time that you say whatever you have to say. But that has resulted in people being more careful in what they say to me. They may say it behind my back, and that's fine. You can't control what people say behind your back as long as they don't disrespect me to my face. I'm fine. And I want you guys to know that it's okay to speak up. It's okay to tell people that you don't like how they are talking to you. It's okay. Because if you never tell them, they can't say that they didn't know. I mean, I'm sorry, if you never tell them, then they will never know. You know what I mean? And you don't want to hold things inside. It's like a boiling pot with a lid on it. The more you hold that lid on that pot and it starts to boil, it's going to eventually bust and spill out. And you don't want to spill out to people, especially if you want to retain the relationship with them, you know? So if you feel disrespected, say something immediately. Don't wait. Say it immediately. That way you can handle whatever it is and you can either move forward or you can either cut ties with the person. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about family and respect. I feel like that the people closest to you are the ones that are most likely to disrespect you and trample on your boundaries. Mainly because they feel like they know you, so they feel like they have a say so, or they can say whatever they want to say because we related. So you ain't gonna leave me alone. That's how they feel. And it's not true, because I can tell you right now, I have cut off my fair share of family. If you can't, I'm the type of person, if I feel like you cannot respect me, I don't care who you are. You can be an aunt, you could be my favorite aunt. You can be mom, sibling, sister, brother, whoever. If you cannot respect my boundaries and respect me, then you gotta go. And I'm giving you guys that same advice. I would never tell anyone to cut off their support system, but is it really a support system if they are not respecting you and your boundaries? You got to ask yourself that sometimes. And cutting off family is probably one of the hardest things that I ever had to do, because you feel like, oh, I need them. But as time progressed, I realized, no, I did not need that. You want people around you that are going to support you, that are going to love you, that are going to respect you. You don't need people around you that feel like because y'all are related, they can be reckless in the things that they say to you. And you don't have to tolerate things like that. I didn't, and I never will again. And sometimes those people will disrespect you and they will not apologize, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to accept the apology that you may never receive from those people and move on with your life. That's all you can do. Sometimes people are not healed enough to realize how their actions affect someone. And it is not your job to sit there and kind of drill it into their head. As life progresses, people get lessons, and those lessons are what teaches us. And if they never learn, they never learn. If they do, they do. But that has nothing to do with you. All you can do is recognize the disrespect and move on. That's all you can do. Okay, today I have talked about respect. I have talked about disrespect. I have talked about how to deal with it. I know firsthand how it feels. It doesn't feel good to know that someone close to you has disrespected you or crossed your boundaries. But this is one of them times you got to put your big girl panties on or your big boy drawers on and keep it moving. Sometimes it's not worth the fight, but it is worth you taking what you have and taking your energy and going somewhere where it's appreciated. Okay? All right, y'all. So that's all I have for y'all today. I'm going to be way more consistent with my shows now. And yeah, y'all have a splendid, and I mean a splendid weekend. Okay?